Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate it's probably been a long time since we've been together on a video before now. It's probably been the best part of 2 months since I've actually produced one. And there are a number of reasons for that, and I'll be honest with you. Part of that is the fact moving to a new video software platform I've found particularly challenging. I was using a rather simple video system and tried to move up and found it really difficult, really challenging to transition to another platform. I found the video making laborious, difficult, time consuming. I used to have a really simple work process. The workflow was really record the video, edit the video, post the video, and that was it. This new platform takes a lot more in the way of production. It takes a lot more synergy, syncing, adjusting the sound, manipulating the images, and it is really quite a tedious and long-winded process. For a better software platform, it's become particularly hard, particularly laborious, and I've found it really distracting. Couldn't concentrate on it, and I've actually pushed it to one side and tried to focus on other things. So whilst we're keeping the live streams going, and they are continuing and do plan to continue until our vacation sometime at Christmas, I've got to get my grounding back in, and I've really got to get stuck back into making videos, and this has got to be the launching pad. Aside from that, we have been making various other things happen. We've got the Discord up and running. We've got the new league formats with the help of Damien on the Gridfinder. So if you don't know about anything about that, and it's because I haven't made any videos about it, we do have a platform now called Gridfinder where every driver registers for the races. Those races are automated in terms of allocating you to races, being available. In terms of how they put you on the grid, it just makes you available, and it lets us know when you're going to be available. So as drivers enter the league, they enter on Gridfinder. It tells us who wants to race, when they want to race, etc. So we've got them planned all the way through to January, or the end of this season. We've got the big race that's coming up in January, which is the 24 Hours of Daytona. If you don't know about that, I apologize. I haven't made a video about that, but we will do. That will be coming very soon. What you're going to then find out is that we're actually starting and looking towards the leagues now very soon into February. So we're going to start again in February with new leagues, and there could be some big changes in format. So if you haven't experienced that, do check us out on Gridfinder. Everything I mentioned today is going to be in the links down below. So don't worry about missing anything today. Other things we've been working on, we've got a merch shop. We've had a merch shop for over a year. It's done particularly well, but it's now time to move on. It's time to step things up. So I'm just at the point of relaunching the merch store. So I've been spending a lot of time exploring different avenues that we could follow. And it looks like we're going to be going down the Shopify route. So using a company called Printful, we are going to be producing those Widdowmaker tees, sweatshirts, mugs, cups, etc, etc. And if you want to support the channel, that'll be where you can go. We're going to try and launch that on the 27th of October. And with that, there will be a lot more to see and a lot more to get. If you have a personal request, don't forget to just message me for something that you want, because I've already got 4 or 5 people suggesting they want a particular type of sweatshirt, and I'm going to make them custom for them. So if you want something custom and you want to buy something, let me know and I will make sure it's made for you, and you can pick and choose as and see when fit. So that being the case, then we've got Discord, we've got Gridfinder, we've got the merch store. What else is there? Well, I'm now producing my own 3D printed ancillaries and extras for my Fanatec equipment and for my GT Amiga rig. So we are manufacturing a fan cooling system that fans to the DD bases, the CSL DD bases. They work for all of them. They are a cooling system that is really quite straightforward and simple in concept. We've redesigned an example and made it fit our own styles and wants, and they're now available on eBay. Again, link will be downstairs. We are producing clips for the 4040 and 4080 profile rigs like the GT Amiga Prime. If you have a 40 profile rig, just hook me up. Just have a look in the links below and you'll find these clips. And we're also starting to manufacture other items for rigs. Again, if there's something you've got for your rig that you haven't got a solution, or you think you want a better solution to attaching it to your rig or making it available to your rig, let me know. Drop me a message and I'll see what I can make for you. And it might be a product that we might be able to sell ongoing. So at the end of the day, I've been doing lots of things to try and make the brand bigger, and to try and make it more. So as we've gone on, it's just become more and more of a task. So like I say, we've got 4 days of the week where we're live streaming: Time Trial Monday, Single Make Tuesday, GR3 Fridays, or GR Fridays as it's going to be, No Assist Saturdays. I have a day off on Sunday. I don't. I'm still doing other things. And we've got Wednesday and Thursday, which we need to fill with things. And that comes to the point of the feature of today's video. Now, if I remember back to 2003, I used to play a particular game. 2003, G20, a G25 I used to use back then, an original Logitech wheel, which I've still got. The G25 is still in existence, and it's here. The old G25 wheel, it still works, and I still use it. It is still used for things like ETS2. However, that game back then was made by a company called Papyrus, and this is the intro. So as we cut there and we come back, that was probably the most hideous looking video you can imagine. And it brings us round to today. A week from today, NASCAR 25 is coming to the PlayStation and the Xbox. And in due course, in around about a month's time after that, it's coming to PC, which I will hopefully be able to explore and enjoy in my 4-screen rig. But as it is, well, let's go and take a look at what it's going to look like.
Got a great car, great team. Go execute. Our time. We know what we got to do. Stay in the fight between the walls. Time to turn the intensity up. Fight to the end, no matter what happens. Good day to be in victory lane. Green flag is in the air. Driving with conviction. Side by side, hammer down. The interjection will count out anybody. Who wants it the most? We are eyes on the leader now. He is driving his guts out. Wheel to wheels, they come to the line. Victory, this will be. Nobody wants it more than you. Next flag is going to end it. Does he have enough? A dominant performance. You're going to stay down, baby. Let's go. Can you believe what you are seeing? Everybody pushing as hard as they can get it. One final shot. You got to earn this thing right here to the end. It is all on the table. A total 500.
Now you've just seen the intro, and wow, graphically it's going to be so much better than the previous rendition of the game. I didn't play NASCAR Heat 1, 2 and 3. I didn't find the EA version of the game that particularly appealing, even though I was aligned to EA in some sort of a way with what I was doing with Tiger Woods back in 2000 to 2008. But I didn't particularly like that avenue of the game. But I really enjoyed NASCAR, and I'm really looking forward to next week. So when that game launches, we will be it'll be Tuesday night, midnight, when that comes live. But we unfortunately will be racing with the GT7 crew, and I do know some of those guys are going to be racing in NASCAR. They are going to be racing. They're going to be playing it. They're going to be doing it like it brings back memories. It brings back things we used to do. So they are going to be enjoying it, and so am I. And I am so looking forward to getting behind the wheel and enjoying that game with a spotter in my ears, being told car high, car low. And I've unfortunately, and I really wish I'd been able to get involved in it, but I've been watching a guy called Jeff Favignano who has had early access to the game, and I'm excited by the single player game element. So next Wednesday night we will be taking on the single player side of things to try and get used to the game. Then next Thursday night we're going to try and explore lobbies and racing online. Big fears, big hopes, big wants, big wishes. We've seen how it looks from the screens, and we know it looks that good because we've seen it in game. I've watched the videos from Jeff Favignano, but it will also hopefully fulfill our wishes and wants when it comes down to racing and handling. never been able to explore that kind of game with such the rig that I've got now. And that brings me to my next chunk of news. We've been enjoying the Fanatec Extreme. It's been a really good wheel. As you know, or as you don't know, because I've probably never told you, I picked up another wheel, which was the Fanatec McLaren GT3 wheel. This has now been replaced. This has been discontinued, and it's been replaced just this very week with a GT3 wheel that looks exactly like this, but we haven't got the stickers, and it's just got different monograms on the front. But it's exactly the same. It is particularly the same. So with that being the case, I've had a technical failure with my rig, and I've got lots to complain about. So my brake pedals failed. The damper first went on the throttle pedal, and that throttle pedal damper, I raised an issue with Fanatec, and they asked me to send it back. I've sent it back, and they've today agreed to credit it because they no longer supply or make that damper, which brings a question, which we'll come back to. For those that you know or don't know, my brake pedal also failed, and it was in the middle of a racing evening. Well, it was time trial night, wasn't it? But prior to the time trial night, when it particularly failed, it was the week before where it just started to give up and make really strange happenings, and braking was an absolute nightmare. Longs and the shorts contacted Fanatec, and they advised me that it's potentially a failure of the PCB. Could I make a video? Could I show them all that's going on? And I did that, and I can show you some clips of that now. My God, that thing's slidey, isn't it? You're going to see images, some video footage of a brake pedal that's working very well. Racing, I know that. And then over the next 10 minutes or so, you'll start to see it fail, and then ultimate failure. Good evening, Ollie. Welcome. 100. My diagnosis is a brake cylinder failure, the cylinder being the ram that makes the brake pedal push back from the cylinder, from the PCB. You can see I'm just braking a little bit too late and not getting the car down to speed. I've been having a couple of problems over the last couple of weeks where I'm just not able to get into the corner correctly, and I think that's been a sign of a failing brake cylinder. Now that I know what's gone on, a week ago the throttle cylinder failed. I bought a throttle cylinder separately. Gonna brake just before the 100. And we fitted that. I can't even get to the apex. Come on. It failed a week or so ago, and I took that cylinder down to an engineer's workshop, and they've opened it for me and shown me that the spring inside the cylinder has snapped. You can see that was the first event there of the brake failure. I'm a bit puzzled. I'm a bit bemused by it. We get into the corner again when we try, and the brakes just, as I go down to second gear, the brakes just lock. They just fail. There's nothing there. We go and do a calibration. You can see it's responding and working quite correctly. So it's an intermittent fault at this point. It's working absolutely fine. Come into this corner again. No brakes. Failure. Nothing there. I've hit the brakes as hard as I do normally, and they just start and then stop. They just went off, didn't they? The brakes just literally went off. Gone again. Huh? Again, disbelief. Turn my rig off, my wheel off, and give it a full reset. I'll reboot the game next if it doesn't work. It's when I change down that the brakes have now locked on, so the cylinder at this point has failed. The damper has failed at this point and is no longer pushing the brake pedal back up. Look, brakes are on. You see the calibration there, you can see it's stuck on. This is inside GT7, not the Fanatec app. But it's a good indicator of when it failed and exactly how it failed. What I don't know is whether the failure has then caused damage to the PCB behind. And that's happened courtesy of a reset. So I've done a reset of the base unit of the drive unit, and
Brakes are gone again.
yeah.
They've just disappeared.
So we're at total failure at this point.
Yeah, look. It fades and goes and dies. 3/4 pedal stroke, it's done. Goes off. Yeah, it's knackered. My pedal's knackered.
So with the live stream taking
And
place, I
control of that
decided
part, look, it's just locked on now.
to
This
start to
is
strip them down.
obviously a problem that's been brewing over the last couple of weeks, and it's terminal. They is knackered. So we need to get it to PC mode. There we go.
So I
Okay, the
decided
sketch is stuck.
to go to the Fanatec
Break
software,
this
at
thing,
which point I realised that I'm using the old one, so I have to update, and we've updated. And you can see the clutch pedal now press, and it looks really slow and really laboured, but I think that's just the visuals. I don't think the pedal was actually working absolutely fine, and you'll see that on the next screen. So there's a few moments here of where I'm messing around behind the screen, but I've changed from the McLaren wheel to GT Extreme, and you can see the throttle pedal work beautifully. The clutch pedal's not at this point. It's very delayed, but I think that's just a graphical issue. It's working very well. There's the brake pedal, on, off, on, off, on, off. I'm pressing the brake pedal down and it's just releasing, it's just failing. I think it's over pressurizing the PCB because there's no pressure from the damper. All the other inputs are working correctly, gear change, etc. There's no drama. And here's where you'll see the issue. So we'll press the throttle. There's the brake failing. It's just, we're pressing it down, it's just disappearing. The foot's flat to the bottom at this point, and then it's just, we repress it, release it, and it just comes back. You see the clutch work correctly, the throttle works correctly. There's no issue, but the brake pedal just it's not working. So my options at this point are then to strip everything off, try and find out whether it's a setup issue. I take it apart, I look inside. I've got 2 green damper brushes, and I've got the original brown bush, so I've got a soft start feel, and then it's really quite hard, which is what I wanted for the setup. I've done an auto calibration, exactly the same thing happens, there's no change, and you'll see I'll do a manual calibration. I've greased everywhere with the lithium grease. I've made sure everything's fine. I've then had to wipe everything off because I'm starting to handle it, and we go through the process. It's only then, after I've reported it to you, that you asked me to do some videos. So the next couple of minutes after this are me effectively showing you what the issue is with the video. So we are, I'm just going to press the brake pedal up and down a few times, and then we're going to, I'm going to show you the issue with the damper as best as I can with the camera. So we're back in. This is today, using the Fanatec software, just showing you that everything's locked at 100%. I can't actually get anything to work on the brake pedal because the damper is now, I think it's lost its oil. So it's not pushing back or returning at all. You'll see where I'm threading very soon when it goes to video. You'll see where I'm actually threading the damper through, trying to push the pedal back, and it's just not. There's no pressure inside the damper. So the throttle's fine, it's calibrating fine, it's just GT7 just not being good. But the brake pedal, it just won't work in a recognised way. So what you'll see now is the damper being pushed, and you can see the brake pedal being pushed, and it's resisting very well. It's doing right, but that's the actual shocker items. So I'm going to now just tighten the damper up just to try and add more force, but all that's doing is pushing the bottom end onto the PCB, so I can't do anything with the wheel because there's no way I can set the pressure because the damper is just not working. And I apologise for the terrible footage. So then the next little bit of footage you'll see is me threading the actual. No, we don't actually get to show you that. But however, you can see the damper. This is the one off the throttle that failed a week or so ago. It was taken apart by a local workshop, and you can see the broken spring. It snapped about 1 centimetre into the spring, 3 turns, and then that's failed. And my presumption is exactly the same thing has happened inside the damper for the brake pedal. Everything else is particularly fine or decent. It's serviceable. It's just that it's broken the spring and then it's overcompressed and lost its oil. And around about 48 hours, 72 hours later, they contacted me back and said, yeah, we can understand what we're seeing with your video. Not a problem at all. Can you box it up and send it back? Here's a label. So they did that. I did it, boxed it, labelled it, sent it back. And 10 days later, I'd heard nothing. I contacted Fanatec for no response. I then got an email about a week later, so probably 2 weeks after I sent it, saying, could you please send us a receipt or proof of postage, please? And I replied saying, I haven't got the proof of postage, but I've got the tracking ID because I use your labels. And I've not had a response since. I've messaged them. I've posted on their forum. I've got extremely stressed, extremely wound up with it, and just run out of steam now. There's nothing I can do. They won't speak to me. They won't answer my emails. I just don't know what to do. Fanatec have left me high and dry. It's a £440 set of version 3 inverted brake pedals that I don't know where they are. They won't answer my mails. They won't tell me what's going on. So I just have to give a massive shout out to the guys that we race with at the Widdowmaker Racing. They are tremendous. They have helped me through those moments. They've kept me buoyed up. And JB, whilst I was getting stressed one night, just talking to people about what I can do about it, said, don't worry, mate, there's a set of pedals on the way. And he'd actually gone and bought me a set of pedals. And he posted them to me, and they've arrived. And they're a basic set of CSLs, but we're up and able to race, and we can race as well as, well, I say as well as we could. There's a lot of changes, a lot of things different about how these pedals work compared to my V3 inverteds. But long the short on it, thank you very much, JB. Really appreciate it. Thank you, mate. If there's anything I can do for you, which I know we're probably exchanging wishes and thanks, but really appreciate it, mate, and thank you very much. So, where are we with Fanatec? I've had a message from somebody saying I should take down my previous videos, bad-mouthing Fanatec and saying how bad they are. Well, I'm afraid I can't. Those videos Fanatec have not moved on from where they were a year ago, 18 months ago. They are still terrible when it comes to customer service. They email you today. You answer them today. They answer you tomorrow. You email to respond to that today or tomorrow, and they don't answer you the same day. They answer you the day after. So a truncated conversation that says, I want you to do this. You say, how do I do that? They say, can you do it this way? You reply, I've done it that way. Then they reply, it takes a week to get a single answer, and then no response. So as far as I know, they have lost my brake pedals. They are not in existence anywhere. I've got a tracking receipt that says they were delivered to them. And what I do know is the version 3 brake pedals are not in stock, and they're not due in stock according to their website until the 7th of November. Now let's come back to the conversation we were having about the damper that fits on the top of the throttle pedal. There's also a damper on the top of the brakes, and I'm 100% sure the reason my version 3's failed on the brake pedal is because the damper collapsed in exactly the same way as my brake pedal collapsed. My throttle pedal collapsed, sorry. So the spring inside the hydraulic damper snapped and it wasn't able to push back. And the reason my brake pedals failed is potentially, I'm guessing at this point, because I never took that one apart, is that the spring snapped in the damper on the brake pedal, and that pushed the brake pedal down into the PCB and broke it. And that's the only thing I can suggest. So here's the situation left with Fanatec. I've contacted them probably 10 times, once on their forum and multiple times on their customer service portal. For the responses I've had, I'm left to only believe that they have lost my brake pedals, or they've processed my returns, know that there is no stock, so there's no point doing anything because they haven't got any stock. I mean, they're not going to talk to me or tell me this, or, and I don't know this because this is another supposition, if you go onto the Fanatec website now, you can see the version 3 normal pedals, not the inverted. You can see the normal pedals. They do not have a damper on the brake pedal. So my big question is, have Fanatec modified the version 3 inverted pedals, and I will be getting a new set of modified, different inverted 3 pedals? I don't know. They're not talking to me. I haven't got a clue. But my big wish, my big thing, the one thing I want is just an email from Fanatec saying, don't worry, Mr. Widdowmaker. Don't worry, Mr. Smalley. Your pedals are safe. We've got them. Nobody's holding them to ransom. We've not lost them. We've not chucked them in the bin. We know there's a problem with them, and we're going to get you a set of new ones when they come into stock. But unfortunately, that can't be for now. But all I want is to know that things are under control, because at this moment in time, I'm left thinking they're not. And it just adds to the confusion and confuddledness that goes on up here. Everything's catawampus, using an American phrase. If it goes in here, it jumbles around, the worst gets worse, and that's what it is. However, long the story and the short of it all is the last 3 months has been a bit of a whirlwind. We've got a really exciting game coming up, and I'm really looking forward to NASCAR next week. I want to get back into the video game. You've got my live streams every week, but the videos I'm really hoping to and really looking forward to potentially coming back on board. So we've also got Project Motorsport coming in mid-November. I've got that lined up. I've also got NASCAR for PC coming on the 10th. I think it's the 10th of November, potentially the 14th. And that will be triple screen, hopefully. And that might bring a different experience to the NASCAR, because on PlayStation it's going to be a single screen, the width of my front monitor. But as we go to PC, we're hopefully going to be able to encapsulate the whole full surround thing. Now, probably NASCAR on the PC, on the PlayStation, is probably going to be better with VR. Hadn't considered that, but for streaming, might be better without. We'll never know. Okay. Whilst that is just an impromptu, this is what we've been doing, this is what's going on, we will be back with more. And I do hope you're all well, and I look forward to presenting you some more videos. GT7, maybe not. GT7 Spec 3 is on the horizon sometime around Christmas. We don't know when that's coming. If we're looking forward to GT7 stuff, maybe then. At this moment in time, GT7 is 4 nights a week on live stream. If I've got something that really tickles my fancy and I'll do a video, I probably will. But as it stands, I think we've done to death GT7 until Spec 3. So, until further notice, ladies and gentlemen, it's a bright new future, it's a bright new world, and we're going to see where we go. But thank you very much. We'll see you on the next one. All the best. Take care. Goodbye for now.